Alrighty, today we're trying a slightly different setup, but doing something relatively similar. This is the second video of the series, of course. In the first video, we covered skeletons, using a nice soft pencil today, enjoying it. And in the second video, we are going to cover muscles. Ooh. And in particular, we'll be drawing some big muscle men. So we're going to see how that goes. Hopefully this camera focuses at some point, or this is going to be a pretty disappointing setup, but we'll see how it goes. In the meantime, let's dig into what we're actually going to be doing, which is splitting this canvas up, I think, into a couple basic different pieces. What's the right way to do this? I think probably something like that. So we'll do one quick some power on that watch. 5 minute, 5 minute, 5 minute, and a 15-minute drawing. Let's see how that goes. Oh, you're starting to get a bit of focus there. Perfection. Okay. Hopefully this all works out. First off, something relatively obvious. Medical drawings of musculature are a really good resource for trying to get a basic grasp on musculature. Here I'm just copying, I think this is Sierpinski. There's a bunch of them. Grey's Anatomy is the most famous one. And you just go in and you try and do your best copying their image. You could try learning names of muscles and things. You really get excited about this, you'll do this over time. But primarily we're treating it as a drawing exercise. The trick to this, and the reason why it's beneficial, of course, is it gives us an idea of what's going on to our bones. And over time, as we practice these techniques, we start to build up a sense of how different things articulate onto each other. These tendons, which are these this connective tissue, which is this wider section I'm starting to suggest that now. It's pretty good. There's a cutout here. There we go. This wider section, which is the more red, or in my case, gray muscle fibers, attaches onto the bones. There we are. So I'm just going to do my best to try and draw it and touch it up as much as possible. I've got 5 minutes. It started at 10. Classic. Thanks, phone. Perfect. See how much my life is being revealed. Yeah. There we go. Ooh, I want to try and get this shoulder right. Traps, I think these are. These different neck muscles are kind of crazy. And this is a very distinctive curve that you see on a lot of very fit people. Ideally, so if you accidentally shred one of your curves, you can sometimes come back over. Try to do it in a single line, get it nice. Something I see a lot of people letting their curves slip a little bit. It's okay, it happens to all of us. But you do want to try and regain them. This comes down and through into the chest. Made this guy a little more muscular than my reference, but that's okay. I'm not against that. This side there's no cutout, so you get the sort of tendon structure, I guess. I don't actually understand exactly what's happening with the abs there. I've never done any formal anatomy. It would be nice, well, any formal muscular anatomy. Plenty of formal neuroanatomy. This is not a brain. I love these lines and colors though, and it's so cool. You do actually get these striations on the finished physical body as well. That's as far as I can go on that one. That's 5 minutes. Should have committed a little harder to shading and spreading it out a bit, but a pretty decent start. Let's move over onto my second guy. This one is from a whole set of these Bodyworks, I think it is. Different people sort of suspended. They're kind of macabre, I must admit. Not sure this is quite how I would want my musculature to be used. Especially some of them are not the most. I think they're supposed to be artistic, but at least to me, they don't come across as the most tastefully done. This one, however, is sort of done gymnast style, and what they're very useful for is studying actual exposed musculature. Yeah, as macabre as that is. Alright, so the top of the head. Line up with my thing. I'm going to try and get a bit more done this time. Brush a bit more. 5 minutes is short, but if I don't finish, that's okay. There's plenty more to go. Mostly just trying to warm up for my final one. Crazy neck muscles on this one. Left my mouse right in the middle of it when I was taking that picture, apparently. Good job, me. A little bit of a weaker shoulder than I think is necessary. Highly primed brachialis as necessary. Brachialis is one of the muscles sort of in the upper arm and the bicep area there. It's under the outer layer of the bicep. Okay, coming around trying to cover this other pectoral. I think it might have been a little too big. And then there's crazy separation. Here's one of the things where I'm just not sure if it's real or not. There's crazy separation on the picture. There you go, managed to connect up pretty well. And this is the one where this one has exposed style abs, but if you look a little closer, it looks pretty clear that they have in fact been cut away, which is kind of remarkable and peculiar. But there's all sorts of interesting aesthetic decisions being made in this thing. There you go. Since my triangular, he's got sort of a more of a flatter washboard style ab. Try and give you guys some length so you can actually see in where I'm going, see what I'm doing. So ideally, the darker color is internal. There we go, not bad at all. Should committed that a little too early. Should have let it breathe a bit more. Got another minute or so. Would love to try and work in some knee. There we are. Maybe a bit more leg. Nice strong lines there. The feet are really cool too. There are lots of super fine detail. Try and hinted some more structure over here as the time starts to fade. On the second 5-minute run. Okay, pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Let's move on to this time a statue. This is an ancient statue. I think it's supposed to be of Hercules. A 4th century, I think, or either a replica of the 4th century. I'm sorry, guys. I can't remember exactly the details anymore. Either way, very cool, very handsome. We're gonna stick with the sort of upper body. That's very much our sort of theme so far. It didn't have to be for muscles. You could really, in fact, you should really go through and go practice drawing each subsection. But chest and upper body seems to have been what I've gravitated towards this time, and I'm going to commit to that. So away we go. Try and do something interesting with that in the final image and sketch as well. This guy's arms are behind. He's got quite the setup here is crazy. I think that's actually, it looks very, to me it looks out of proportion so far, but I think it's actually accurate to what is drawn. Fantastic musculature. Again, curves so important here. Just going to try and focus on keeping fluid movements with my pencil, because that's really what the bodies and stuff are all about. Yeah, I love the touch of the belly button and stuff. Got some serratus over here, or the very hint of it, I think. A bit more chest curls on the lion that's like tucked under his shoulder, because of course. I feel like I'm actually starting to make up more time on these. Get a little bit faster. Got some beard action, gotta fit that in, of course. Yeah. I don't have one, but that doesn't mean I gotta hate. You still can respect a good beard. Even if they look awful and miserable to wear. No, I'm just a joke. Relax. Don't be a hater. Try and catch. So I want to try and catch some of this stone shading. I think what I am going to do is shading this way, and then I'll shade top down as well, because there's sort of a pattern. But I'll use this to get the overall proportions of color and shade, and then for the next pass I'll focus more on form. It's a good way to think about shading sometimes. You should always characterize your technique to your object, though. That's the real focus always for developing a good artistic basis. Ultimately, that just comes down to learning a bunch of different techniques and figuring out how to apply them. That means that there's a bourgeois element to the art, shall we say, but that is the nature of most skilled things. I'm not sure. I think I might just be able to cut off the old wingle wangle over here so that I keep this PG-13. Yeah, I'll throw in a little bit of hair and then leave the rest to the imagination. Maybe a little bit low, but that's okay. Nice hips. Okay, so don't forget about my next stage of shading, and I'm down to my last sort of minutes, so I should probably get on with those marks. Try and add some more depth and sharpness. not forgetting my overall mission. And there we go, another pretty solid pass, I think. Plenty more to do. Lion's head and teeth and stuff, not even really incorporated. But there we go. Next up, of course, we get the 15-minute run, and we get to see something that hopefully turns out to be a little bit more impressive. And then we'll wrap. All right. This is an image of Arnold Schwarzenegger doing a standard front double bicep pose. This is a great pose, and there's a number of really great bodybuilders who do this pose, and a bunch of other super standard bodybuilding poses that you can look up for inspiration. I heavily suggest that. What are we going to do here? I think we're going to focus on the hair to start with. This is the sort of guy I am. Okay. I did one of these before. His face is deceptively difficult. This young and natural face. Ernie really, so if you're unaware, is considered one of the greatest, if not the greatest, bodybuilder of all time. He's just most remarkable physique here. Starting with the face, not really what I'm supposed to be focusing on as studying musculature, but I'm just setting some scales and having a nice time. So having struggled with this before, you know. Get that shadow on the wall behind him. Curve into this cheek and down into the chin. And now I think it's just time to go off to the races and add some muscles. Back and forth, constantly checking my reference. But yeah, trying to pick up some pace here. Coming in, gotten pretty used to drawing these different styles and sizes of chest. Arnie's chest is much bigger than even Hercules. Hercules stylistically very different sort of chest. Very interesting. The ancient Greeks didn't commit to the size of the chest for whatever reason. Maybe they just didn't know what crazy things were possible. Amazingly full chest here. In fact, one of the famed chests, of course. Crazy that such things exist, but chests famous for being chests. But this is certainly one of them, and very deserving of that reward it is too. There we go. Oh, see, so I came out of the wrong angle. Makes him look way less strong. I'm trying to focus on this cage. Ooh, so this rib cage shape, and then these other flowing angles. I cut that a little close. That sort of blends away in time. frame a couple of these abdominal points. Carve out some more lat over here. Just trying to take it piece by piece. Crazy biceps. I can't even imagine what it would be like to have biceps like this. Absurd what the human body is capable of. Absurd what this guy was capable of. And then come down into the elbow here. He's got striation, of course. Striations. Vascularity. Or as normal people call them, prominent veins. Yeah. I think just a hint of that is probably good. And just away we go. I'm going to start thinking about the background already. This sharp contrast, I think, matters. This is kind of fun to draw. There we go. But yeah, let's not forget that the goal and purpose here is to try and draw musculature. Top of the rib cage and also the lat insertion. Really let the top of the rib cage breathe a little bit. There we go. Get that lat insertion. Come back around into the abs. It does in fact have sort of like a couple veins even exposed. Crazy. Get that shadow continuing. Around the 8-minute mark. I was gonna get really ambitious with those needs for a moment. Probably not necessary. Hardy's needs were legs were big, but they weren't obscenely large. They weren't Tom Place's legs. Shots fired. Okay. I'm quite disappointed in that foot, and as a result, I'm just gonna leave it for now. I'm gonna pause, relax, think about my mistakes, mature for a moment as a person, as an individual. Maybe choosing a song to put on. Oh, well, if you insist. Where we go. And yeah, I would start with somewhere else. Try and get my game back on. Get this other knee worked in. Brilliant angles and shapes here. Smooth outer muscle. Oh, starting to get that. Nice. And the lighting's really clever. It's one of the reasons I'm trying to draw this shadow is because I've clearly thought so much about how to light this. His toes just seem so small compared to the rest of his body. It's crazy. down and we start. See, I feel like his calf insertion is low. It's fascinating. It's a crazy calf. It's did a great job to get a bit of calf angle even in here. So now we're gonna try to feel less self-conscious about how bad that was. Put the rest of that claw in there. Holy smokes! And then, yeah, we're just gonna have to hope the rest of it turns out really well. I think that's the plan. So meanwhile. There we go. Not so bad. Starting to give him some shape and structure in the upper thigh here. I really enjoy using this more gentle, soft lead. This gives me a great feel, a great touch. And coverage just feels really easy like that. See? Just taking a moment. This underwear is actually Speedo, or whatever it is. It's actually dark. Take a moment to put some of the parts of the color of the cloth in. Fortunately, it's a very well chosen and concealing piece ultimately. Not usually what you expect to say about a Speedo. Try and get this sort of feel of the material in. And then just slide around this side. Okay, haven't really worked on this like it's whole yet. Putting some of these crazy muscles. I think this is the vastus medialis, this big guy over here. Give some shape and form. I don't even know what on earth this for the quad. I guess. Oh my gosh, crazy. That's bodybuilders for you. Reveal a new world of musculature you didn't even really know existed. Oh, this is a human being. Oh, holy smokes, that's crazy. It's just what the body's possible, I guess. Coming down into the knee, I also find the knee really intimidating to draw. I think I'll go way too crazy with the head there. It's like a triangle shape almost inside of his knee. Or like more like a triforce. I don't know. I don't know. It's this crazy shape. I didn't know master it there. Okay, outside of the thigh. inside of the foot. It's some fun stuff to try. Okay. We're starting to run out of time, however. I'm starting to be pretty happy with what I've got. I still wish his face. Oh, wish I could do a better job on that. But yeah, I love the lighting on this image. Toss a couple more sharp lines in. I find these arms just intimidating, regardless of whether or not I'm drawing them. But even just drawing them is just crazy. Yeah. I don't even feel like I've really done them justice. Get some of that armpit hair in there. Yeah, ideally he's sort of like popping off the page and looking ridiculous. I don't think I quite accomplished that, but it's not awful. Another layer darker in the back there. That'll give me room for a tiny bit of shading on the interior here. Didn't ever stick in any of the lines or shapes associated with that, but at this point I really am pushing my time. Horrible foot, poor me, poor foot, poor him. Less horrible. And again, I should really and like so, and then of course is the shadow. Okay, it's time to call it. I've really enjoyed doing this. I think that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. This is a fantastic exercise. You should try it. You can do it with whatever muscle pictures you want, or you can copy mine. I hope you've had a lovely time. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you are a lovely person and you're lovely to the people around you. Thank you so much for being here.